How will you contribute to the world today in a way that only you can? Ponder that question as you dive into today's episode of the Leap Beyond Success podcast with Micheline Nader. Every episode is designed to help you lean into your passion, execute from your purpose, align your mindset, and program your emotions so that you can leap into the world and show up as who you want to be in the world for yourself and for whoever you choose to serve. Let's dive in and evolve together. Enjoy the conversation. Well, hello there, and welcome to the Leap Beyond Success podcast. I'm so excited that you're with us. We have a great show in store for you today, and all of our future episodes, we intend to really have a great impact on your life and your leadership. And for those of you who don't realize that you're a leader yet, we have some surprises for you. You are leading your life in many ways that you may or may not be aware of, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. My name is Trace Haskins. I am a guest host for today, and you'll be seeing me as a guest host in the future. But this is really the podcast of Micheline Nader. Micheline is a beautiful soul. Micheline's so honored to be here with you today. And Micheline is the author of this incredible book. It's called Leap Beyond Success, How Leaders Evolve. If you don't have your copy, I highly recommend that you go on Amazon or wherever you like to buy books and get a copy. It's going to help you up your leadership game. Again, whether you realize or not what level of leadership you're playing at, it's going to help you do it at whatever level you would like to. And it's really an incredible book that has an incredible framework for you to leap. And you'll be learning from Micheline what a leap really means. Micheline, just a little bit about her. She is a multiple-time best-selling author. I have her book here, Leap Beyond Success. It's incredible. And she's been doing a lot of really incredible work in the world, from Beirut to Paris to Canada and the USA. She's a healthcare entrepreneur. She's done incredible work in that space. And on her journey in her career and in leading these incredible organizations, she stumbled on this little thing called conscious awareness. And I love how she's going to be sharing with you. There's a conscious awareness, little c, little a, and a conscious awareness, big C, big A. And I'll let her explain what that means and what the difference is. But it's a really powerful distinction. And when she stumbled upon conscious awareness, she also became a personal growth junkie. I can identify with that. Since you're listening to this podcast, I have a feeling that you can too. But Micheline realized that the more that she grew, the better that her teams and her businesses actually started to perform. So she focused more and more on her own passion, on her own fulfillment. The better she got, the better everything and everyone else around her got. And one thing that I think is really neat about that is it highlights that it's true that you can't change anybody around you, but you can change yourself. And when you change yourself, the things around you change, right? Just like with Wayne Dyer, if you know Wayne Dyer, he always said, when you change the way that you look at things, the things you look at change. That's beautiful wisdom. So, Micheline, I'm so excited to be here with you. I want to start us off with a quote today. You have to do it yourself, but you can't do it alone. I'm so happy that we're not alone in the world. We have each other, and we have really powerful leaders like you, Micheline, who create these frameworks and really introduce us to new ideas that help us play I don't even necessarily want to say a bigger game, but a game that we love more, a game that engages our passion and our excitement, and that allows us to realize our purpose more. And I love what you do in the world. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for allowing me to interview you today and in future episodes. Excited what we co-create, excited about all the other incredible guests that you're going to have on too. And today, it's your turn to shine to start us off here with episode 1. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Trace. It's awesome. And it's like, we're both so blessed because we're on this journey together, and we're talking about our intention for today for our audience. Let's create it because this is part of the framework of LEAP. So our intention is for the listeners, those who stumble upon this, episode, to find something that is valuable for them in their life and in their leadership. And if they didn't realize that they're leaders, to do so, and to realize also that at some level they're guided and they're doing great work, even if they don't know about it. And I hope with the little c, little a, which we call conscious awareness, to bring awareness to our daily life, to to the things that we do moment by moment, that they could realize this. So this would be my intention for this episode. And I'm sure, Trace, it's the same, right? For
Amen to all
you?
of that. Yes, absolutely. The intention
Okay.
sounds great. I am in alignment. We will deliver that. And what I love about what you said too is everybody's going to potentially take away something different, right? Because as individuals who have consciousness, we all have different perceptions and different places that we are at in our life and our career, and if we're a business owner in our business. And so we get to look at this episode today from each of our unique perspectives and take away whatever we take away, and it's great. So if you're okay with this, Micheline, I'd like to ask you a question. If we just zero in on leadership again for a moment before we really get into the quantum leap sort of content, what do you feel is really missing in the world of leadership today? Maybe at the individual level, maybe at the more corporate level, so organizations, and thirdly, maybe more at the society level, like, or even global level as a whole. What do you think we're up? Well, what's missing, and what do you think that we can do about it?
What I feel is missing in leadership as a whole is the collective notion. We're still playing very small as leaders. We're still thinking about just us, like how to succeed personally, how to succeed as an organization, as a project. And it doesn't take much to think about the collective, because when we add just a component to it, what's the impact on the collective? That leadership of us could become great by doing that. And when you look at leadership as a whole, we all lead for a good purpose, because we want to be successful in the world. We want to sell our products or services, and most of the time we do believe in the services and the products that we sell. The thing that is missing is that little c, little a, that connects us to the big C, big A, which is like our conscious awareness about what we're doing, how we're present to what is, and how we're connecting it to the whole. And the whole here is not only the global or the collective, but the whole thing that exists, which is big C, big A, big conscious awareness, to the field of existence, to the field of expertise, to the field of this, how we're, moving, evolving the field, how we're moving and evolving the way we lead, that connects us to what is collective, global, and the field in itself, Trace.
Can you, for our listeners, can you just distinguish what's an example of making use of your little c, your little a, your conscious awareness? What's an example like in day-to-day life in business or just personal life? What does that look like practically?
So little c, little a is not only to know what we're doing and what is our product, but also what is it that motivates us? Why do we do what we're doing? And when we take actions, are these actions reactive actions to what comes up? Or are we acting in a way where we understand that we may have been triggered either emotionally or by a memory of the past, that maybe a project where we were not successful at in the past, and now it's surfacing again, and all of a sudden we shut it off. But in reality, when we're present, that, oh, this may not be so, to what is triggering us, then we act differently. So this is the little c, little a, to be conscious at each moment, either when we're taking an action or when we're reacting, that this is a reaction that it does not have to be true, because most of the time, if we don't have the conscious awareness, the little c, little a of being aware, we're really reacting to narratives, to stories about either what happened, about the program, about this, or stories in our mind that trigger, an emotion from the past, and we're not really aware that we're reacting. So by being an authentic leader means being aware of all this, because also it means that we're aware that our leadership is beyond just ourselves, and it is impacting others.
I can tell you from personal experience, you can almost draw a line in my life. Uh, Previously not consciously aware of things, and now, as often as I can be consciously aware, I still have plenty of non-consciously aware moments, by the way. But just knowing even of the concept now, it's really changed a lot of things for me. And I can definitely act much more intentionally. The example that you give with behavior around children, right? As a dad now, having two little kids, I try to be as aware as I can. Like, what is my behavior doing? For them right now, in addition to myself and the rest of the family. So, great examples. I love that. So now that's the little c, little a, right? That's kind of like the local conscious awareness. Do you want to just touch very briefly on what we're talking about with the big C, little a, or do you want to save that for a future episode, or maybe a little bit down the road? I'll leave it up to you if you want to dive in there now, or if we should talk about some quantum leaps now.
Yeah, I think I'll say a little something about it, because we said quantum,
Yes.
and the quantum encompasses everything. The quantum is, every field that we exist on is captured by the quantum. We are in that quantum field, and the quantum field is part of us, and we exist at different levels: the physical material level, to the energetic level, to the level of any field around us, is we encompassed by the quantum field. And the quantum field is not different than the big C, big A, because big C, big A is the big conscious awareness, which is the sum of all the fields, of all that exists, of all that awareness that exists, of all that supreme intelligence that exists. So we as a human being, we don't exist just like that. We we're not like independent. Like someone, if you close your nose and your mouth for a few minutes, you're dead.
Yeah.
You need the air. You need the field around us. You need the water. You need the food. You need people around you. You need your mom to give birth to you, and your dad to conceive with her, and you need your mom to nurse you until you're this notion of being, oh, I'm independent and I'm by myself and I'm on my own. I mean, it doesn't take a genius really to know that you've never been. So why all of a sudden you think you want to be the individualistic you, and you think that success is only for you? It just takes a little bit of tuning to realize that it is really not so.
I love that. Yeah, I like it. There's a difference between feeling self-empowered and kind of owning your actions and your states of being and things like that, and looking at yourself as an island, right? Like, you're definitely not an island. You're you're part of this big, beautiful ocean, and we're all connected at the quantum level through the capital C, capital A conscious awareness. That's great. I love the way that you explain that, and it's really fun to lean into this idea that we're not alone, that we're a part of each other, that we work together in ways that we can't even see, right? Because we have our 3D physical world, and we have our physical senses. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, right? And that kind of gives us the illusion of what we think the world is. And there's so much beyond that the naked eye can't see. And I know that we're both big fans of the fields of quantum physics and neuroscience, and there's a lot of things that are starting to be explained in new ways these days, which is really, really incredibly exciting. I know that you love that, and you talk about a lot of that in your books and in your programs. What would you say is actually a quantum leap? Why is it any good? Like, why would somebody be interested in taking a quantum leap? And how does your leap framework actually help people do that?
So Trace, right now we could say that technology is evolving at a great speed, right? And science is evolving, and medicine is evolving. And the other day I was, reading a research where they showed that in terms of joy and fulfillment, we're not more joyful and more fulfilled.
Mm.
So all this evolution and progression and leadership and curing diseases and medical technology and digital age, and we're on our computer and we love the things we do at times, but why aren't we more fulfilled? Why aren't we happier? So it could be an enigma for a lot of people, but for me, because I did wrestle with this and I was unfulfilled despite having everything at one point in my life. But what I realized, that when I'm really passionate about what I do and how I'm doing it, it does not mean that sometimes I'm frustrated or I'm not fulfilled and I'm not joyful about something that I've done. But what it means that I can bounce back. A lot of people ask me this question, oh, now you're talking about conscious awareness, so you must be like consciously aware all the time. And
You're
oh, how does
levitating
it
all day
feel? And I say,
long, right? You're
no,
levitating up there in the air somewhere all the
no, no. It just, that we study the field that we mostly need or we mostly love, because also we need in a way, shape, or form. And I don't know what it is. This is an enigma. But what it does mean is that I thrive to become consciously aware most of the times. So when I dip, yes, I created a framework because I'm a pragmatic person. I was a leader, an entrepreneur. I want results. I want the outcome. And so I'm always intrigued. I'm always having these two hats. I want the big picture, but I want it also to be pragmatic, that we could implement something and see it. And it used to frustrate me so much when I started on my, what I call parallel journey, when I discovered that there is something else than our physical body and our thoughts here in this world. And I was frustrated because I knew I was following gurus and spiritual masters and philosophers and wanting to understand more what is there to this like big universe. Who are we? Why are we here? What are we thriving for? What is this, what I call the big enigma of it? And so I wake up in the morning and I have this still feeling like something is missing. So now that I know about Sufism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianism, Krishna, the Chinese, healing, all these religions, the even Baha'i, whatever there is mystical in the world, I wanted to know about it. Confucius, I want to know how he thought about it, why he began, and why is it that I still feel that way? And I bet if you're listening to this episode, you've asked yourself this question so many times, right? Like, why? And so when I found the why do we feel this way despite everything that we do in order to improve ourselves? I decided to go through it heads on and create a guide, a blueprint, a framework in order for us to leap. And but as I was creating it, the beauty of it, that I was leaping with it. I was creating the conditions for my leapership to leap, and we'll talk a little bit about it. And at some point, of course, I didn't know that this is the framework as I was going through it. But then I put it back together. What was the most important thing among everything that I've done that helped me jump to that like leap, to have that breakthrough where I'm excited about my day?
In terms of the LEAP framework, probably most people listening to this podcast at this point, if you're new to the world of Leap Beyond Success and Micheline Nader, you don't understand what LEAP actually means yet, right? So, Micheline, would you walk us through the LEAP acronym? That would be great, because I feel like when you do, people are really going to have a great insight, maybe even an aha satori moment about the power of what we're talking about, being a leaper, leaping, right? What this really means that we're talking about. So could you describe what LEAP really is?
So the framework is about the acronym LEAP. L stands for lean into your passion. E, execute from your purpose. And A, align your mindset. And P, program your emotions. And this is the framework that, if applied, will put you in a state where you will be leaping in a state. It doesn't already, if you apply it, you've leaped in some area, in those areas. You've discovered something that you did not discover before. You created some breakthroughs and aha moments. You knew that what is stopping you could be in the execution. It could be in not being passionate about what you do, but how to create that for you and how to execute. But it could be also in your mindset, which most of the time is in your mindset, or really in your emotional logo that is created in this framework, to know if what's stopping you is in your emotional logo. But also through programming your emotion, you know now how to extract the positive emotion, the great emotion that you've had, the visceral great emotion that you've had, and you attach it to something you want to create and how to do it in order to manifest it. If you create the conditions in your, and I call this your environment, but actually it's you, your internal environment, your external environment, to be able to leap. There is no way in my mind that you will leap. And what is leap and how is it different from innovation or progression? Or and leap really is that precipitous jump, this big breakthrough that it does not happen because of your past. It happened. It so happened. It's such a transformation or metamorphosis in something that you do, but to the positive. Because like if you tell someone, okay, you're gonna have a transformative, experience, most of the people would shy away. I don't want to be transformed. I'm good with it. No, it's not transformative in the way that you'll be changed from A to Z. something that was stopping you that will be transformed in a way where your life is evolving to the better. So that's what we're here for, to create those perfect circumstances and this perfect environment for us to live in that way.
I love it. That's incredible. I love that you made the distinction about environments too, being the environment being you, because you can be in an absolutely terrible environment. You can be in a war zone. You can be in a chaotic relationship. Like you can have a lot of things around you in the physical world going on, but you can still create this environment within you in order to create a leap. So it's really, really powerful. I really hope that everybody gets that who's listening. Another thing as well, this concept of leaping. Mm, it's it's something that it becomes a way of being, right? So when you understand these four steps of leaning into your passion, executing from your purpose, aligning your mindset, and programming your emotions, it allows you, as you say, Micheline, to evolve from an emerging future. So the thing about us human beings is during our first 6 or 7 years of being on this planet, we're programmed a certain way by our environment. Our environment meaning, people around us, our parents, our guardians, people in our social circle. There's a lot of core things that are built during that time period of our life. And then, of course, into teenagers and adulthood, we pile on more layers of programming. And I forget what that statistic is. There's like a scientifically proven number, but I think it's by the time you're 25. Don't quote me on that exact number, but it's around the age of 25 where your personality is developed. And everything you do, every decision you make, right? It's it's made from that program from the past. So the leap process allows you to become little c, little a, consciously aware of those programs, and then you can start to decide, independent of those past programs, independent of the past circumstances, independent of the present external environment, who you want to be, identify what your passions really are, identify what purpose you want to choose in the world, and you can start to then identify, aha, I want to create this particular future, or at least head in this particular direction. And you start to create your life, right, with this leap framework from that new place instead of from the past, which is so great. I mean, our
Right.
past has some great things with it too, but there's a lot of things that tend to hold us back, right? And that's where aligning the mindset and programming the emotions really are powerful things. You talk about also the emotional logo. I love the way in your online course you explain how that emotional logo process works, because you're really healing some things from your past that you have no idea is holding you back. And when you're aware of it and you move past it, it's like a completely new world, and you become a new personality. But you're changing only the parts of your personality that are holding you back. And like you said as well, um, you're not being forced into transformation. The transformation is coming from the inside out. It reminds me of a quote, people don't resist change, but they resist being changed. So there's none of us or anybody that's going to do the changing or the transforming and inflict it upon you. You're doing it from the inside out, and that's when it's really powerful. So I love it. Thank you for creating it. It's so beautiful.
Well, yeah, I love how you explained the trace as well. Um, I think also um, the culprits of the sticky emotions
Hmm.
are those in our subconscious, and this development, I mean, this program is created when before we're age 7, the subconscious one. Um, and what I found out as I was working with my emotional logo and I was creating it, and what I found out that there are different portals to that emotional logo. Like
Hmm.
there is this traumatic emotion that I talked about in my first book, The Dolphin's Dance, Discover Your True Self through 5-step powerful journey into conscious awareness. That was the one.
Yeah.
And
Great book too. For those of
but
you listening,
it
just
went
saying, go pick that one up. In addition to Leap Beyond Success. Sorry to interrupt.
right, and in this new one, what I talk about your leadership emotional logo, because the leadership emotional logo is something that you're aware of, or you can go back to. And through the exercises, we go back to that emotion that is uneasy, that is negative, that you would remember. But the beauty of it is if you go back enough, even I mean, there are ways to go back to the subconscious mind, but you have to work with someone, or you have to really be committed to it. And it's like layers after layers after layers of peeling an onion. So as far as you can go, and even if you work with someone to go even deeper, you will find out that the narrative and what is holding you back, and that emotional logo is linked to your original traumatic emotion from the past. I remember one time I was leading a workshop for family entrepreneurs. They were all business owners, and I remember this person. With the positive mindset that everyone wants to be positive, even if we see someone that is really bad in front of us, we say, "Oh no, this is a great day." Like it would be like raining and so many accidents on the road, and I was like, "Oh, this is a great day." No, this is really not a positive mindset. It's like choosing not to see what is, right? And so there was one person who stood up and he said, I am really flabbergasted that everybody in the audience had some emotion, negative emotion from the past. But I could tell you, first, I had a perfect childhood. I had nothing negative. Second, why are we talking about it? Don't we want to all see the positive? Why are we talking about this negative? So negative will hold you back and positive will move you forward. So what are we talking about the negative? And I was like, my answer was like, great. If you did not have anything negative, just sit down with it. Just allow the negative emotion that people are talking about to just surface for them, and just be a space for these people. At the end of that workshop, this person stood up and he said, I was resisting to see that I had a negative emotion that stopped me from going further and getting my business to global. And he talked about it. So the thing is, sometimes through sharing, sometimes through listening to episodes like this and others, it triggers some memory also from the past, and also through deep meditation, self-hypnosis, some music like the alpha music, the theta music, vibration, the frequency could also help us in a deep meditation if we're doing the exercises. I mean, it doesn't have to be the exercises that I'm doing in Leap or the Dolphins Dance or Leap. But the exercises that I have in Leap, if you do them with that meditation or relaxation, that's why in all the exercises and the framework and how to get there, I always say take a few deep breaths, because sometimes the answer that comes out, definitely the first answer that comes up to you when you're relaxed is the right answer. Now, if you have time and you want to take it even to a deeper level, you could download the meditation on my website, michelinenader.com, and get to the clear lagoon and then do the exercise. Then you would have created that environment for yourself, internal environment for yourself, where your answers could even have more impact. But this depends on your time. And as I said, the beauty about the leadership emotional logo in the book is that it is a portal, it's an entry point, and it's linked to the original one. I sometimes call it the original sin. That that original emotional, incident or trauma that we had that we're not aware of. It's in our subconscious. Even if we want to retrieve it, we can't retrieve it like this. It takes much more to retrieve it and much more help. But there is a way of linking it and knowing what is surfacing for us at this point in time. So this is very pragmatic. We go back to the pragmatic executive me who wants things done, but not forgetting, the global picture, not to just remember why we're doing what we're doing, why we want to retrieve, our emotional logo. Why do we want it, actually? Why do we want to leap? Why do we want to leap in any area of your life? I could tell you, even if you're very successful, there is an area of your life where you would want to leap. If it's not professional, it could be personal. If it's not personal, it could be spiritual. If it's not spiritual, it could be in your, relationships or service. There is an area of your life where you want to leap.
Hey there, thank you so much for listening to this preview episode of the Leap Beyond Success podcast with Micheline Nader and yours truly, Trace Haskins. We hope that you've thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and if you have, we encourage you right now to click play on the next episode and dive into this concept of leaping beyond success, because we know that when you stick with us, we are going to create some amazing results together for you, for your career, for your business, and for the entire world, because when we improve ourselves, we improve everything else. Thank you for listening. We'd also love to hear your feedback. Please feel free to email answers@michelinenader.com if you'd like us to answer questions in future episodes. And just if you want to reach out to us at all, we would love to have your feedback. Thank you so much. Looking forward to connecting with you in the next episode.